But anyway, this dungeon, despite the fact I think I probably, every time I've played it, got stuck on that whole talk to villagers thing to get in this area, this is a bit repetitive, but not really hard. It's mostly orienting you with the game, for one thing, and also teaching you how to use the water spouts and how to use spin and high jump, although high jump never really gets too complicated, whereas spinning has that at least. So I don't really care about experience. I don't think I'm going to be dying in battles. If I do, well, I'll sure look silly then, but I'm pretty good at dodging, and dodging hasn't been affected by me not playing this in forever, only, not dodging. What's that thing you do besides dodging? Hitting things with good timing. Although dodging is kind of related, and is like the law of this area that everything has to look as much like a gyroid as it can. And those things always kind of weirded me out. I really don't know why. I can't see anything at all that looks odd in their character design. And now it's bringing back, I wouldn't call it nostalgia, but memories of some weird thing with cheeks like that that I vaguely remember upsetting me during my childhood, but I can't remember what it was exactly, and it's kind of bad when I have repressed thoughts of that nature. I don't know. Anyway, I hope this is loud enough, because it's definitely nowhere near as loud as it is back when I had it close enough to my mouth that it was also close enough to my nose to flip out every time I exhaled through my nose, which I'd say if you have to deal with static from me making this louder, or giant bursts of air every 5 seconds from me breathing, I would say the slightly lower sound quality is better until I can figure out how to actually professionally do this. And of course, when I talk with any kind of normal talking amounts, it shows up pretty fine on the wavelength thingy in Audacity, which makes me think maybe I just talk too quietly to be a person who doesn't talk too quietly. And I have no idea what's up with the dry bones here. Did they forget that they weren't weird baby beans or something? I don't know, their skull is bean shaped and they crawl around like there's some kind of Koopa from bad Mario games. I mean, I'm not one to call Mario games bad. When I say that, I mean comparatively, because all of them are pretty good, but so far I think my least favorites in the series have been the ones where they walk on their all fours, because that's what Galaxy, which I didn't like as much as Sunshine or Super Mario 64. Well, I liked it in different ways, but Mario 3, which I didn't like as much as Mario World or Yoshi's Island, which had upright Koopas, and Mario 1, which is the same deal as Mario 3. And then Mario 2 only had Koopa shells, or it was identical to Mario. It was basically a ROM hack of Mario 1 in Japan, and in the States it was basically a cruel joke that happened to have a shell in it, because for some weird reason they thought the game with I forget what it was in Doki Doki Panic. I think it was some weird mask or something, because everything in Doki Doki Panic was some weird mask or something, really. Anyway, yes, I'm still upset by those things. I still can't place exactly why. I'm probably dwelling on that too much, but anyway, these stupid dry bones have too much health, and I'm never gonna remember how to do these attacks if I don't do them sometimes, so there we go. So yeah, I really don't like these dry bones. I mean, even if you ignore my dumb biases against the popular Mario games, basically, they still don't really look like dry bones. I mean, Mario and Luigi 2 and 3 had perfectly normal dry bones, so I think they're probably dry versions of I forget what they're called, Shroopies or something. Troopies, I think, which are basically Koopas that are in the Bean Bean Kingdom and not affiliated with Bowser. And I think that's actually pretty much it. I remember back before Mario and Luigi 2 came out where normal things had sprites, people were trying to edit the Shroopy sprites to look like regular Koopas, and it looked really weird, and I really don't know why these sprites were so popular. I mean, the anti-aliasing is neat, and the anti-aliasing is pretty much the only remarkable things about these sprites, and it's still basically the same style as Yoshi's Island or Super Princess Peach, I think, even though Super Princess Peach might have come out a little later than this. Speaking of Super Princess Peach, if I ever get a working DS emulator and a working ability to record emulators, I'd probably let's play that, because I think that was a pretty good game. And I think it was probably overlooked by some who were not brave enough to buy a game about a princess with a princess on the cover that was all pink and stuff. It was basically just Yoshi's Island with more interesting controls and also more sexist controls. It was a good game though. So anyway, I forgot this level had, or pretty much everything in this game had pretty good music. And anyway, yep, all that was just to make that one area we saw so long ago have water. And we aren't going to be able to get those X's in the ground for a while. I think I mentioned that already, but it's still true. Okay, so what am I doing here? Okay, this is a shortcut back, I presume. That seems to be the case. Let's put out this lonely burning gyroid. Now, because of those stairs there, I'm inclined to believe there's another thing I'm supposed to hit with that water, but for now I'm just gonna try this because, I mean, it's right here, and what? What? So anyway, I don't think I mentioned this yet, but this is actually one of my favorite battle musics for pretty much any RPG. I just like how it's not really appropriate for a battle. It's too happy-go-lucky. And I'm under... Actually, I do think I might have mentioned this already, but whatever. It's not really a remix of Mario RPG's battle music, but it sounds kind of like it, and I think it took a few bars from it or something, I don't know. But actually, the more I think about it, the more I think I probably did mention that already. So, that's just a bit of a refresher if you missed some of the earlier parts. Man, I wish I had figured out that quote-unquote puzzle. Okay, so I'm assuming there were items up here or something I might have wanted. Yeah, I'm not gonna go for 100% run on items at least, or beans for that matter. I might get enough to get all the coffees or some of the coffees, but... Okay, I'm actually a lot further up on the mountain than I remembered. I guess there wasn't too much going on up here. Gate. I remember when I first played this, I had a really hard time pronouncing everything in this first area. Like, I had no idea what a Blambadambadon was, and a Hoo-Hoo-Rose, and I think I probably have to talk to him before doing this, but he basically just tells you to do this, so... It's a bit of a sneak preview. Ah, travelers, I'm Hoo-Hoo-Rose. Oops, what? Ah, traveler, I'm Hoo-Hoo-Rose. Do you want to jump some things and don't... not... Yeah. Yeah, on top of the, whole... fun mini games that you can play over again for fun and profit. This game also had a fair deal of stuff like this, which... Whoops. Yeah. But yeah, it also had a fair deal of stuff like this that dealt with bros actions or just regular actions, and... I really don't... So these things look kind of like Smash Balls. Am I crazy, or... I think they do, or... They kind of look like random stuff from Zelda, too. So how many was I supposed to get? Was it 10? That seems reasonable for this time limit, I guess. Maybe it was 8. I'm going to go with 8, because that seems more likely with my current situation of times. Okay, so wow, you have to do that pretty perfect to get 10. You can only miss like 1 or 2 on like the 5 or so I missed. I think you sort of have to get lucky too, because seems that it's pretty random, and it's entirely possible for it to go to one of the 2 locations you can't immediately get to, which, if you are horribly slow to act like I am, can make you not get it. But yeah, of course, this time, now that I'm not being retarded, I clear it with like 11 seconds left.